so many other people asking to come back at this moment. If they ain't asking, everybody else is going to ask.
Please. They're not going to start asking. Everybody from the minute those Netflix shows got canceled had their agents on the phone asking, hey, can we get in on one of these movies?
Hell yeah.
What about a Civil War II where you can have all the heroes in there? Huh?
Hell yeah. Yeah, exactly. Shit, you know Vincent D'Onofrio gonna be hitting up. Hey man, shit, I want that check too. I want to get paid. Hey everyone, support our Patreon, which helps us to continue bringing you our live streams, videos, and podcasts while bringing you new content such as exclusive live streams and animated shorts. I usually don't like to talk about rumors at all because, you know, a lot of times it proves out to be bullshit.
Sure. It's somebody who starts a rumor about something they want to be true.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, people just want this. So people are just talking about it. And when I say they want this, they want clicks.
Yeah.
They putting the bait out there. But I decided to talk about this because I believe a chain reaction is starting, and I'm being cautiously optimistic about what is currently happening with some of the Marvel movies. Even though we want them, this could lead to some things that I'm not so sure about. But let's talk about the good things here first, because I think this would be a good thing if we bring back old Charlie Cox right here. Old bright eyes. Look, this look like one of them Olin Mills photos. That look like his school picture. We say Charlie Cox. You know him by his other name.
When the sun sets, we're both the same. Another man's evil does not make you good.
I thought he grabbed him.
Fucking
tell me.
What about this, father?
Actually, I might know him by two different names. One being Matt Murdock. And if you don't know that, then you definitely know Daredevil. And Charlie Cox was the one that made Daredevil sort of a household name for people that didn't even really know Daredevil. He did something that even Ben Affleck couldn't do.
Right.
Ben Affleck Daredevil came out and be like, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, no, man. Ben Affleck kind of put a stain on his name.
Oh, sure did. Sure did. No, Charlie Cox. And even if you do remember Ben Affleck as Daredevil, Charlie Cox is known as the one that gave us that good Daredevil, not that old bullshit Daredevil that Ben Affleck gave us. So a lot of people are talking about the rumor that's going on right now because they loved him as Daredevil so much. They said it was one of the most perfect adaptations of Daredevil that we've seen. He will possibly, as I said, reportedly, reportedly just means we don't know, but we want to get some clicks, reportedly coming to the MCU. And Spider-Man 3, which is bringing in everybody else. Boy, y'all bringing so many people. There ain't gonna be no room for Tom Holland.
I know he's just be on the side of a building like, hey, remember me?
Yeah. Everybody brought in Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Jamie Foxx,
Kirsten Dunst.
All of them gonna be like, anybody seen Tom? Tom gonna be out the window. Hey, open the door. Hey, missing his own part. Bringing in all, because it's been reported that they're bringing in Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. They're bringing in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. You know, we talked about this yesterday that they're doing this, and at this point, I'm just kind of like, well, shit, you know, because now with Charlie Cox coming in, they're going to have so many other people asking to come back at this moment. If they ain't asking, everybody else is going to ask.
Please. They're not going to start asking. Everybody from the minute those Netflix shows got canceled had their agents on the phone asking, hey, can we get in on one of these movies?
Hell yeah.
What about a Civil War II where you can have all the heroes in there? Huh?
Hell yeah. Yeah, exactly. Shit, you know Vincent D'Onofrio gonna be hitting up. Hey man, shit, I want that check too. I want to get paid. Motherfuckers, I ain't dead yet. If they're gonna go this far as bringing in Charlie Cox, which I have to say, I think that it's probably a cool thing that they're doing that. I remember having these talks because look, I'll be the one to let you know right now. Whenever somebody said, "Man, I'm telling you." Everybody wants them. They're going to bring the Netflix heroes in. I was like, man, they ain't doing that shit. They are done with them. That's stupid.
You would have been the loudest voice saying that.
I was the loudest voice saying that. I was like, that makes no sense. And then your boy Dr. Strange had to come in at all. It made me look bad. Shit, I got these multiverses, bitch.
What'd you say, Coleman?
Yeah, he came in and just made it possible to do anything now. So now that they can do that, at this point, I'm thinking, all right, so prove me wrong. Doctor Strange can obviously come in and make this happen. I'm thinking, why not just go ahead and start bringing in some of these other people? But I will say this first. I do think it's a great idea to bring Matt Murdock in, because I remember when we were talking about this, and this could be like, I don't want, dream come true is a little bit of a stretch, but something that I want to see. They could make it possible. Something I think would be really cool. Because Chris Herman and I were talking about if they wanted to, and I said I doubt it, but if they wanted to, they could bring in Matt Murdock to help out Peter Parker.
See, I was thinking that very thing, because as opposed to with the other Netflix heroes, with Charlie Cox, you would get Daredevil, the superhero, but more importantly, Matt Murdock, the lawyer. Daredevil has, at least comic book wise, has interacted with the heroes that we've seen on screen a lot more than any of those other guys have.
Yep. And we even and we even thought it more possible. Look, I'm happy that they want to do this if it's true. And see, this is why I hate when they say rumors.
I know.
Because it makes perfect sense for them to do it. Because when it was announced later, now again, it was rumored that they did something, and the actress who was going to play this role came out and said it was bullshit. But when Disney said on Disney Plus they're going to get a She-Hulk show. Now I forgot the actress.
Tatiana Maslany.
Tatiana Maslany. She said, "You ain't playing that shit." And I was like, "Well,
oh, did she?"
Okay, I think that's bullshit.
Because this happens all the time with like Samuel Jackson, and they're like, "Man, if they doing a Nick Fury movie, they better be with me if they using my likeness."
Yeah.
Because I ain't heard nothing about it. Boom, there he is in the goddamn movie.
Yeah.
And all the time we get this. Oh, that's not happening. Oh, it's totally happening. Oh, Benedict Cumberbatch is Khan? No, he's not Khan.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. This girl sat on her ass for 2 weeks before she could. Now, I know you didn't lose your internet for 2 weeks and didn't know what was happening. This girl sat on her ass for 2 weeks before she came out and said, "Honey, nobody told me that." Bitch, stop lying.
I know.
No, you sat on your ass for 2 weeks. Either there's some negotiation thing, something going on, or the studio said, "Go out there and tell me you're not doing this," because nobody was supposed to know anyway.
Right. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, it shouldn't have leaked. So help us out.
But we said, you know what? Either way it goes, they're doing a She-Hulk show, and we said, man, that'd be the perfect time to bring Matt Murdock in. And it's rumored too that there's going to be some interaction with the Charlie Cox.
See, that's
Matt Murdock.
I'd heard that rumor early on, some months ago, but then later heard that like, it's just a rumor. There's no solid.
And it still might be a rumor. But I wish, this is why I hate when this shit comes out early, because it's perfect. And so at this point, you might as well go ahead and bring in the rest of the Defenders. Bring in
no.
No, okay, because I never saw your boy Iron Fist. I just want it because I want that version of Luke Cage. I love that version of Luke Cage.
I would love to have Luke Cage back.
Us the money.
I don't like your tone.
That brother's hand just turned to cookie dough. It looked like a tube of Pillsbury cookie dough just hit his face. Mike Coulter was so great in that role.
He was. Luke Cage and Iron Fist, or rather Power Man and Iron Fist, always made for a fun team that everybody liked. They've had several series because they keep bringing them back because everybody likes the two of them together. There is that whole thing of like, okay, we got a white guy as the kung fu master, but hopefully when Shang-Chi comes out, that'll take some off of that. There's no way that's going to work unless they recast it.
Really? Because he's just not that good in it?
No.
I never watched it because everybody said it was so bad, and I just didn't.
Oh, you like watching bad stuff, though.
After the fact, after it's had time to marinate.
Yeah, well, this is that time to marinate. You should.
You know what?
You should watch some of it.
Ooh, that might be a good stream to sit up there and tell people now years later.
Yeah.
How I feel about that show, because I just didn't want to watch it because I was having so much fun with everything else.
I know. When you've been watching some good stuff and somebody says like, "Oh, this one's bad," you're like, well, then maybe I don't want to dive into it.
Yeah, maybe I should review Iron Fist after the fact.
Yeah. And Kristen Ritter is great at Jessica Jones, but they kind of exhausted that character. Like the second, the 2 seasons after were just kind of like.
But they could revamp her, because it's the problem with the stories, right?
Yes.
So they could bring the actress back in.
Yeah,
and do
they
something.
could. They could. They could. They could. It's Yeah, I suppose. I'm just thinking like how big the movies have gotten. Like, these characters, they interact with talking raccoons, and they go into space, and Thor is a god.
Yeah.
And street level heroes is sort of a why are you here? Like we let an archer in, but
well, the reason why the street level heroes work is what they'll tell you. They're like, while they're going out and taking care of all the bigger things,
Yeah.
these guys are taking care of the hood.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to, bring them in on TV stuff, I suppose. Even watching those series, it was like, all right, well, we're watching these to get to the point where Luke Cage and Jessica Jones hook up and eventually get married. And of course, it never came anywhere close to that.
Yeah.
So they could just start it out with them already.
Exactly.
married.
I tell you what, y'all, we'll do subs for Iron Fist later. Not tonight, but when I get time, and I think we have time, or when I kind of prepare myself for it, we'll do some subs for Iron Fist, because Iron Fist, that is an investment of time. That's going to take an extra level, because I ain't just watching a movie. That's going to take an extra level of subs.
I would have you just watch the first episode.
Nah, I'm going to commit to it, man. I'm going to do it. If I do it, I'm going to do it. It's 2 seasons, right?
Yeah.
I'll watch 2 seasons, but that's going to be like 100 subs, man. But we'll worry about that later. We ain't going to do it now.
You will get to the first season, you'll be like, wait, there's more? Oh, come on.
Nah, man, I will go through it. If we formally announce this and y'all want it, it'll either be a Patreon thing or it'll be a subs thing. Either for a certain, I don't know, sign up for Patreon or something, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. 100 subs probably, though, is what I had to do it for, because that's 2 seasons of something that I already know is bad. Mm-hmm. It's one thing watching a bad movie, but,
two seasons that you already
20
know,
hours
that or have too many episodes in them.
But that's another thing, man. You got to bring in, there's a couple of questions I have here. A couple of questions that I already have. So, you got the Punisher, man. So if they start bringing all these other people, can they bring in the Punisher at this point, and can they keep Jon Bernthal?
I mean, they could keep him. He wasn't the problem with the show.
Yeah, I know. But the thing that'll come up is like, okay, what are we gonna do with you bringing in this ultraviolet, more mature character?
There is that.
Yeah, and but see, that's the other thing. They don't have to be the same versions.
No.
Because then that's what's confusing to me, because they can be duplicates of not duplicates, but they can be a different version with the same actor.
Yeah.
J. Jonah Jameson.
I mean, they could keep them the same and just not do the stuff they did before.
Exactly. Because that's exactly what they did with J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
I mean, he changed him around a little bit. Instead of a newspaper, he had a website.
Yeah.
You have it, folks. Conclusive proof that Spider-Man was responsible for the brutal murder of Mysterio.
We got J. Jonah Jameson that comes up, which nobody saw coming, which blew their minds, but it's the same actor, J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
So everybody loved that. Everybody's talking about Charlie Cox coming back as Daredevil, but it could possibly be just a different Daredevil. So here's where the confusion comes in. So why is it that all these people have the same, almost like doppelganger in another dimension, but Spider-Man got all kind of different looking people? You know why? You know what I'm saying? Why does one look like a hipster with a pompadour? Uh-huh. Why does one of them look like a fucking pedophile with big eyes? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's the only thing that I'm talking about right there. That's what's confusing.
Yeah, I think they won't make them from a different dimension. If they could bring them in and not make them from a different dimension. There's nothing to say the MCU now wasn't attached to what we had before. Or you just don't bring it up. That's what they do a lot of times.
Yeah, they can do that too. Well, this whole thing with multiverses, will this start to be a crutch almost?
Yes.
Of
course it will. That's what makes me nervous about it.
That's exactly what makes me nervous with this, man. It's like, well, if you're doing that, now whenever a character is popular and the internet starts raising hell about it and starts pissing them on it, now we just say, all right, that's a popular character. Let's just bring him back. Shit, everybody's talking about how, hey, Killmonger just got voted sexiest man by People magazine. Let's bring back the character.
Right.
At least Michael Jordan got voted that. Mm-hmm. He's popular. Let's bring back Killmonger now.
Right.
Now you're throwing down all these names. It's starting to feel crowded now.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
and that's the thing. Anytime you can open multiverses or control time, then anybody can die and you can reverse it and bring them back.
And exactly.
And then death means nothing.
And as many people as they're starting to break, just in Spider-Man 3, y'all bringing all these fools back. You know, this just starting to feel like the end of of Endgame, man.
Yeah, right?
It's like when they start bringing in opening dimensions and shit, and they start bringing in everybody. You know, it's like, why don't you just, you know, why don't we just do an Avengers Assemble type thing at the end? Where everybody, that shit right there. You know, that's gonna be the end of Spider-Man 3.
Coming out of nowhere.
Assemble.
That's gonna be the end of Spider-Man 3 right there. Yeah, man. They could start doing that with X-Men.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Why do we need to write that there was this thing that snapped and clicked and flashed and caused mutations where it's just like, oh, fuck it. They came from another dimension.
Another dimension. Born with the powers. That's all it is.
Yeah.
They came over. Fantastic Four. Reed Richard opens a portal.
Yeah, I mean, there's cool things and bad things with that. Like,
it's a great power if you don't abuse it.
Exactly. Now, there's some cool things that can happen. I would do it with Fantastic Four. Because if we can get, let me type this in here, because everybody wants Fantastic Four with, what's his name? John Krasinski.
Right.
Like, we can get the John Krasinski Fantastic Four, like with Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
And furthermore, what if they could do it to where if they were coming from another dimension or another universe,
Yeah, which they travel all the time.
what if it was the 60s?
Yeah.
So you could get that 60s Fantastic
No,
Four.
No, if I was to write a Fantastic Four movie, it would definitely start in the 60s. A lot of it would be that, and it would be them getting Doctor Doom's time machine or opening a portal and coming to, present time.
Yeah. What would you do with Doctor Doom, though? Have you have Doctor Doom be in present time?
Yes. I mean, he'd be in both ways. Like, it's his machine. He's manipulated everything, and they're like, "Nah,
Yeah.
man, we can't have you doing this.
Yeah.
You just got to stop."
We were at home chilling and he brought us over here. I always thought, and I'm a nerd, I always thought it'd be cool if Doctor Doom was the main villain.
Oh, absolutely.
In the well, not for Fantastic Four,
but just the whole MCU.
He was the next Thanos. Like
yeah.
a dude with his own country.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been cooling out the whole time, just watching.
Yeah, because you got so many villains who want to take over the world. You're like, you don't know what to do with it. but Doctor Doom would have plans.
Yeah, always, and got people that love him already. Yeah, he's like their Trump.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, he's a horrible leader to them, but they love him.
Yeah, people, can you believe that we had Doctor Doom as a president?
Yeah, little Doctor Doom, little Lex Luthor.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, man. Well, there you go, folks. That's the thing that I'm worried about. Like, they'll abuse this, as long as they can keep a balance with it, that'll be cool. But this Spider-Man 3 went from sounding kind of cool to like, damn, this is too much.
Right. I mean, that's the one thing I think with all these cameos you're talking about, that sounds expensive, which could mean there'll be cameos and not, full-fledged storylines with all these people.
Well, I'm expecting Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and those guys. I expected them to be cameos anyway. I don't think they're going to be big stories. One of the things that I'm afraid they're going to do is because of this multiverse, now they're going to say, well, shit, over here at Sony, we can complete storylines that we just had to abandon because nobody gave a shit about them. They can pick up from where they left off with their Sinister Six. From the Andrew Garfield movies.
With Paul Giamatti driving a truck again.
Somebody, big ass truck that looked like a rhinoceros. Yeah. Somebody said, "Oh, by the way, Paul Giamatti's coming back, but not as the Rhino. He's coming back as the wine taster
from Sideways."
From Sideways. Yeah, people. This is what makes me nervous about this multiverse thing. They just can go too crazy with it, but oh well. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
See what happens.